Hello, folks. It looks like we are live. I've got a green light for audio and video is clear. If you're on now and would like to say hello, give me the thumbs up that you can see and hear me. That would be great. Um, we have about 5 minutes before we get started in our comeback yoga all levels class. So I'd just like to share a little bit with you from a book called The I-Rest Program for Healing from Richard Miller. Change your thoughts and change your life. Your thinking mind is an amazing organ. It is the product of millions of years of evolution. Every day you experience a wide range of thoughts, from positive and caring to negative and hurtful. You experience thoughts, images, and memories that create hopes and connection, as well as ones that invite doubt and fear. Thoughts enable you to believe that you're powerful and capable of great things, or that you're helpless and so limited that you'll never amount to anything at all. You see, what you think about yourself has tremendous power. In the words of Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. Every thought you have, whether it's I'm capable of great things or I'm helpless, impacts your body. As you read these words, your thyroid, spleen, pancreas, and adrenal glands are responding to your thoughts by sending out hormones that are influencing your immune, cardiovascular, respiratory, and digestive system. Like it or not, every thought you have has a powerful effect on your body, and every way that your body is feeling has a powerful effect on your thoughts. Now, relate this understanding to PTSD. Your negative thoughts affect your body and hold you captive. In turn, your bodily symptoms hold you captive in your thoughts. Your negative thoughts create a vicious cycle that keep this PTSD in place. Change your thinking and change your PTSD. How? Change your thinking and you change your body. Change your body and you change how you feel. Change how you feel and you change your thinking. Change your thinking in this moment and you change how you think and feel in the next moment. Change how you think and feel in the next moment and you change and think how you feel for the rest of your life. You gain the power then to heal when you understand that with a single thought, you can change your life. If you think you can, you can. So that is our words of wisdom today from Richard Miller. That's from page 118 of, I think, the first edition of the I-Rest program for healing. So here at Comeback Yoga, we use the I-Rest Yoga Nidra as part of tools, allowing you tools for healing. So we have classes that are just designed for Yoga Nidra and for the I-Rest program right here on the channel. So check it out. So we have about 2 more minutes before we actually begin our class today. So if you are just joining and want to grab yourself a yoga mat, maybe a cushion or blanket to sit on or something for under your head, go ahead and grab that and we'll get started here in just another moment or so. I don't have any jokes today like Andrea does. She's always got some good jokes. You can check out her classes here um, for jokes. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It's going to get better here with our class. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. Well, I have top of the hour according to my clock. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. This is you've arrived at Comeback Yoga's YouTube channel, and Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization. We are based out of Denver, Colorado, serving veterans, active duty military, and your support team. So I'm so grateful that you're here today for this Comeback Yoga all levels class. We're here for about 45 minutes, and you're going to need, if you have an exercise mat, maybe a yoga block. And if you don't have a yoga block, no worries. I'll just show some variations of some postures using a yoga block. You can also use a step stool, a or an ottoman, cushion. If you have something like that, or a chair, you can also use that for your practice. All right. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, just have a seat. Maybe you're sitting on a chair, maybe you're sitting on a cushion, whatever you like that's comfortable for you. And let's just drop in. So, we're going to just kind of drop into the physical sensation in our body, dropping into maybe any fatigue in the body. Maybe you're just waking up this morning and still not alert. Maybe you are at the end of a long day and you're just needing to kind of recharge and regroup. So, just taking a couple moments to just kind of feel how you feel, just feeling all the feels, physical body. Maybe there's some pain or discomfort in your body. You're, um, maybe you have some pain somewhere. Maybe you are just overall tired or feeling energized. So just take about, let's say, 3 more breaths here just to tune in and notice how you're breathing. And as if you were here for that reading, notice your thoughts. Where are your thoughts going? Maybe I'm new to you, and you're not really sure what my teaching style is. Maybe yoga is new to you, and you're not really sure what to expect today. Maybe there's a lot going on in your mind that's causing maybe a little worry in your body, a little tightness in your body. So just kind of noticing all of that. And let's take a couple more deep breaths here together, just tuning in to the breath. Coming back from those thoughts into the breath. One more breath. All right. And if your eyes were closed, go ahead and lift your gaze. And we'll just start to wiggle the fingers, expanding them out, bringing them back in, and then circling your wrists. And stretching your arms up overhead, clasping your hands, pressing your palms up to the ceiling, a little side bend, getting some of that morning tiredness out of the body. If you are feeling that like me. All right. And then turn to one side and turning to the other side. And then coming back to center, we'll move through our spine now. So bringing the hands in front of the chest with the wrist dropping down, stretching the wrists, and then turning the palms away from you, back of the hands together, stretching the back of the wrists, and then bringing those palms back together. And then reaching the arms forward, round your back. So tuck your chin here, stretching the upper back, and open your arms out to a goalpost position. And then bringing your arms back forward and then back open into that goalpost position. Like you're doing a lat pull down, if you know what I'm talking about at the gym, pulling down and then reaching forward and pulling back. And reaching forward, we'll do one more. Kind of feeling that contrast, stretching and then engaging. All right, let's do another twist over to one side, looking and noticing what's on the wall or on the floor, and then twisting to the other side. All right, the upper body's pretty warm here now, so we're going to go ahead and come up into standing to wake up the lower body. So, don't need any props other than your mat for that. So, coming all the way up to standing, and we'll just kind of circle and rotate through the ankle here, going both directions. Just kind of pivoting on the bottom of your foot. You can hold on to a wall or a chair here. And then we'll do the other side. All right. And then bringing your hands onto your knees, and we'll just kind of circle around here. All right. And then coming all the way up to standing, stretch your arms up overhead and then bend the elbows, cactus those arms, and then cross them over your chest, grabbing opposite shoulders. Bend your knees quite a lot, moving your hips back, and then start to roll yourself on down. Maybe touching the ground with your hands, maybe letting your head go. And then coming all the way back up. Arms coming back up overhead. Bend those elbows out wide. And then crossing your arms again over your chest, maybe the other arm on top, doesn't matter. Bend your knees and roll back down to touch the floor. And then bending the knees, come all the way back up. And then we'll take a side bend over to one side, moving the hips over. And side bending other side. And back up. All right. Big stretch up again. Grabbing one hand. And then lowering your arms down. All right. I think we're pretty warmed up now. If you need a little bit more warm up, then go for it. And come to face the short edge of your mat. We'll just roll those shoulders down, standing up tall, maybe rocking back and forth on the feet for a moment just to feel front and back of your foot. Turn your palms out now, stretch your arms up overhead, big reach up to the ceiling, and then bringing those arms into those goalpost arms and then folding forward, touching the ground. Bending the knees in order to touch the ground. Step one leg back to a lunge. Hands now coming right next to your foot. And then we'll bring that back knee down to the ground. Point your foot here. Climb up onto your leg. And we'll reach one or both arms up for a crescent lunge. And then bend those elbows out to the sides like we did. And take your hands back down to the ground. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee, and then bring that back foot in to a standing forward fold. Bending the knees if you like. All right, now let's step the other leg back, coming into that long lunge, and then lower your knee down to the ground. You can tuck the toes under or point to your toes and lift one or both arms up as you push down into your front foot, reaching the arms up and then bending those elbows out wide. And then taking it down to the ground. All right, we'll bring that front foot back into a tabletop position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Round your back and then move the hips towards the heels just to stretch your back. Maybe you come all the way back onto the heels, reaching those arms forward. If you'd like to bend the elbows here, bringing the hands behind the head for a tricep stretch. Your head may or may not come to the floor. Maybe you place your head on your hands. We'll just hold this for another 3 breaths or so. Noticing the stretch in the hips and the ankles. If it's too much for the knees, then keep your hips up higher. All right, last breath here. And straighten those arms forward and come all the way down onto your stomach. Bring those hands straight behind you. Lift your chest. Locust pose. Can keep the legs down or gently float them up off of the ground. And then bring your hands under your head. Lower your head onto your hands. And take a couple of breaths here. Breathing towards the abdomen, the belly. Just letting that breath come in. All right. Coming up back to that tabletop position. And we'll move into pointer. One leg goes back, opposite arm forward. Now bring that elbow and knee together or towards one another, and then reach it forward and back again. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, bring the elbow knee in. Inhale, reach it forward, and then exhale, bring it in. A little balance challenge there, huh? Okay, switching sides for 3 times. Bringing it forward and in. If you need a little extra padding under the wrist, fold your mat up. Last one. And down. Good. All right, walking your hands back to those knees, standing forward fold at the back of your mat. And then bending the knees, rise all the way up to standing, big stretch up, and lower your arms down. All right, let's come back to the front of our mat and bringing those arms again to the sides, shoulders back and down, and standing tall. With your next inhale, stretch your arms up overhead and then folding over your legs again. Hands to the ground. Step one leg back into the lunge, bringing your hands back under the shoulders. If you want to keep the knee lifted or lower it down, we're going to come up into our crescent lunge. It's going to take a little effort here. Press yourself up onto the leg and then reach one or both arms up. And then take them out to the cactus arms or the goalposts. All right, and then hands down to the ground. Step that back foot forward and fold. Step your other leg back. Reach it back nice and long. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Lower the hips a little bit. Maybe lower your knee down, or maybe you keep your leg up. Bring your hands up onto your leg and then find that crescent lunge. One or both arms up, and then bend your elbows out to the sides. Take your hands down to the ground, and we're going to step back into a plank. Now, option, of course, is to bring your knees down for that tabletop or keep your knees lifted for the plank. All right. Come all the way down to your stomach and either take the locust with the arms back or bring the hands behind the shoulders for cobra, keeping the elbows bent, or push yourself up away from the ground for an upward facing dog. And then come all the way back down. We'll press up into the tabletop for our pointer again. So reaching arm and leg back, bring the elbow and knee in. 2 more. Reach it forward, bring it in. Last one. And then switch 3 times here, 3 times as a charm. Maybe your hand touches your knee, not your elbow. Last one. All right. And then child's pose, bringing your hips towards the heels, arms forward, or if you want that tricep stretch, a little break for the wrist, bend the elbows, and bring your hands to the back of your head. Let's take 5 breaths here. Last time we were here for 3. A little longer, a little warmed up. Maybe the knees can tolerate this a little more. Again, though, you can keep the hips up higher. You can try bringing the knees closer or wider. For 2 more breaths, depending on how fast you're breathing, maybe slowing it down a little bit. All right. Wonderful, folks. Bring your hands back to your knees. Tuck your toes under. Move back, standing forward fold. All right, bend your knees. Come all the way up to standing. Grab a sip of water if you need. And we're going to repeat that one more time. So, coming to face the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up, and then bend your elbows. Come forward into a fold, hands to the ground. Step one leg back. Bring your hands back under the shoulders next to your foot. Look forward. Maybe you drop your back knee. Maybe you keep it lifted for this third round. Coming up, arms lift, and bend those elbows to cactus arms. Take your hands back down to the ground. Pause, push off your front foot, and stand into a forward fold, bringing that back leg forward. All right, other leg goes back, hands framing the foot, coming up, arms up, elbows out. All right, taking your hands down to the ground, stepping back for that plank. Option to have the knees down to the ground. Remembering your choice, yogi's choice. Okay, elbows go back, come to the ground. Your choice of the belly down, locust. Maybe do all 3 with me. Cobra, hands behind the shoulders, elbows bent. Or arms go straight and lift the hips up off the ground. And then coming to the tabletop, pointer, elbow or hand and knee together. 2 more. Reach it out and bring it in. Last one, out and in. Switch sides. Last one. All right. And then finding child's pose. Let's take 7 breaths here now. Nice, smooth, expansive. Of course, now we are compressing at the abdomen, so maybe it's difficult to breathe in. Think about breathing to the back of your body instead, like you could breathe towards the back. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Last one. All right, great. Come on up. Standing forward fold. And then all the way up to standing. All right. Grab a sip of water And we're going to do just a little bit of standing balancing here today. All right. So, coming to either a chair or the wall. We'll do tree pose today. So, as humans, we're used to standing on two legs, so 2 feet, anyways. So, so as we move into tree pose, of course, you can stand on 2 feet still, right? So, taking one leg, turning the knee out to the side, and the heel can rest against the other ankle, the opposite ankle. Get yourself nice and tall, maybe hands onto the hips. Again, you've got a wall or chair. Option now is to bring one foot off of the ground. So that's going to feel maybe a little wobbly today. Maybe you bring it up higher. Maybe bring the hands in front of the heart. Ideally, stay here for about 5 breaths. Working, every day, maybe up to 5 breaths. Maybe you find you can work up to more. But for now, we'll try 5 breaths. Okay. Okay, let's do the other side. Finding a wall or a chair, or maybe you have a friend nearby. You guys can work together on this. Okay. All right. So lifting one knee, turning it out to the side. Now, with your exhale, think about tightening up your abdominals and bringing that leg up a little higher. Maybe you trust yourself and you bring your hand off of the wall or the chair, counting your own breaths. Keep and strong in the legs. All right. How many breaths did you get to today? So, something to work on, right? Take a deep breath in, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, lower your arms and feel your feet. 2 more like that. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, lower your arms and notice your feet. One more. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale. Notice your feet. All right. Come to the short edge of your mat. And then fold over your legs, hands to the ground. And come onto your butt. We'll come into boat pose. So holding on to the back of your legs, lift your legs, maybe straighten them. You can keep a hold of the back of the legs or let go by engaging your core, maybe one hand at a time, switching, and maybe both hands once you get the core active. All right, and then bringing those legs down. One leg goes straight out in front of you. Bend the knee and bring your foot across. Grabbing your knee with their opposite elbow, hand goes behind, and sit up tall to turn. Notice over your shoulder, what's on the wall or the floor. And take 2 more breaths here. And come around to the inside of that knee, sitting up tall. Using your back hand to lift your spine a little taller. All right, and release that. Both legs out in front and change. So bringing your opposite knee in. Maybe use your hand or maybe your elbow to turn. Your back hand, though, acts as that support as you lift and turn, looking over your shoulder if that feels okay in your neck and shoulder. Just kind of picking out texture or the color of something behind you. And then also noticing what sensations are occurring within your body. So always tracking, noticing your breath, and twisting to the inside, and using again that back hand for some support. All right, and then coming back to center, let's go ahead and bring our feet together for a cobbler's pose. We'll start by pressing our fingers behind us to get a little bit more of the sensation for the inner legs. And you can make kind of your knuckles pressing down instead of your fingers, and just lifting your chest open. So, feeling the sensation, we're working more to the sensation of the legs rather than the back. So, focusing on that as a stretch. Couple more breaths. All right, and now extend your legs out for a straddle. And again, we'll use our hands, extending the spine nice and long, torso long. Option is to have your legs wider or narrower than mine. It doesn't matter. Just track whatever is happening in your own body, noticing what's happening here and breathing. If you feel like you could come forward with, again, keeping the sensation mostly in the legs, because that's going to help if there's any back tension or tightness, then the releasing of the hamstrings will actually help. Releasing of the inner thighs will help. So this is where we want to focus the sensation and our attention is on the legs. If you feel like you could come forward more, just you do you, but you focus on tracking sensation and using your breath. All right. And then coming on up, we'll bring one foot in so that knee is bent, taking a side bend over the straight leg. So reaching up and over, feeling the stretch, of course, in the side, maybe a little bit in the back, a little bit in the hip and leg. And coming on down, we'll switch out the legs, turning towards your bent knee and lifting your arm up and over. All right, coming up and taking both legs forward, just kind of balancing out the knees. And coming onto your back, maybe putting a blanket or a cushion onto your head. And we'll do a little bit more stretching for the hips here. So take both legs up into the air and cross the legs. So crossing at the knees, like your legs forming kind of an X. And then bend both knees. So bending the knees, dropping the heels down towards your bottom. I don't really have a good way to show this, but you're gonna see if you can grab the knees or the shins or the ankles and then bring them closer to you. So this is our cow face pose, but we're on it doing it on our back. So it'll be a little safer for the back. Now, if you'd rather do this upright, then you certainly can. So you should be feeling this in the hip area of both of the legs. And again, breathing. All right, switch the legs. Sorry, I was getting lost in that there. And just use your breath to maybe increase or decrease the range of motion, meaning that when you exhale, maybe your legs come closer to you. When you inhale, your legs move away from you. So that can also change the intensity. All right, and placing your feet down on the ground. Letting your knees rest against each other. We're going to do a little breathing exercise here. So, like for you to just get comfortable. And if being on your back isn't comfortable, then you can come upright or whatever you like. So, just want you to notice your breath right here and just notice how your breath is moving your body. You can have your hands on your body to notice that movement of breath. And then let's count our breath here together. So, taking an inhale for 5 counts. Let's try it. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and pause. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause. And keep going. We'll do 3 more rounds. And pause. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Last round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Now letting go of that count, just coming to a natural breath, natural rhythm of breath. And coming onto your side now, taking your top leg out in front of you, grabbing your foot, ankle, or calf, and then bring your head towards your leg. And then bringing your leg behind you, grabbing your ankle, stretching the front of the hip. All right. And taking that same leg as you come onto your back, and taking that same leg up into the air. You can hold on to the back of your leg anywheres. A couple more breaths here. Ideally, hold the pose, the stretch 30 to 60 seconds, maybe longer if you can tolerate it. Sometimes the body says, nope, not today. Okay. All right, let's come on to the other side. Taking your leg out in front of you, grabbing your foot or ankle. And then grabbing your ankle or foot and bringing your leg behind you, the bent knee. All right. And coming onto your back, that same leg going up into the air, maybe straightening your bottom leg. It's not important how close your leg comes to your body, but that you keep your leg as straight as possible so that you get the maximum benefit. All right. Take both knees to your chest. And then placing your feet and legs back down on the floor. Option to be on your side. Maybe there's some other stretches that you like to do. Otherwise, we have about 5 minutes of just a relaxation. So we already did our breath work today. So this will just be kind of a guided body scan. So I'm going to sit up to lead you into this or through this. So once you get comfortable, maybe covering up to make sure your body stays at a comfortable temperature. And maybe there's some other body positioning that you can um, allow yourself to get into for the most comfort as possible for 5 more minutes. And once you get there, just allow yourself to drop to the surface and feel that surface beneath you, noticing the color, the texture, not the color. You could if your eyes are open. The texture of it, notice maybe the firmness of it, and then noticing your surroundings, just calling in the sounds and maybe the smells. And then drawing attention to kind of the general face area, your jaw, your eyes and nose, your ears, your upper body, torso and arms. Noticing your hips and legs and feet. Noticing your whole body, the front, sides, and the back. And feel your whole body breathing, focusing on breath, drawing away from thoughts, focusing on breath, expanding breath, expanding awareness. Last moment here or so. And when you're ready, again, now to return to the sounds in the room, back into some movement in your body if you'd like. You can, of course, stay here as long as you like if you're in the comfortable place. And when you're ready to come upright, do so and join me in closing out our time together. So, thank you so very much for your presence, for being here for the whole lesson. I thank you so much on behalf of Comeback Yoga. We're so grateful for you. So, if you have any questions, please type in the chat. If you want to reach out to Comeback Yoga and have questions about our programming or have the way to donate, please do so. You can drop into the link below and reach out to us that way. So thanks again. Appreciate you being here. And I will see you next time. Take care of yourself until then. Have a great day.